I remember looking at a rehearsal schedule a few years ago. On paper, the data of our production, everything looked optimized. We were hitting our page counts, the transition timings were shrinking, and we were technically on track. The numbers screamed efficiency. But a few quiet conversations in the hallway with a couple of ensemble members revealed a different reality. For them, a specific 5-minute sequence we were considering cutting to save time wasn't just clunky staging. It was the only moment they felt truly connected to the show's emotional core. The data told me the scene was a bottleneck. The humans told me it was the heartbeat. We kept it, we refined it, and that experience has stayed with me ever since. In stage management, it's easy to get hypnotized by the clean certainty of a production report or a digital tracking sheet. I love a good spreadsheet just like the rest of you. Numbers don't have opening night jitters. They don't have bad days. They present a version of reality scrubbed of the messy human context that actually makes theater happen. Now, with AI promising to make our schedules smarter and our logistics more predictable, the temptation to let the data drive is stronger than ever. We're told tech will free us up for strategic work, but in the rehearsal room, the most strategic work is noticing the things the data can't see. Our true north isn't a better algorithm. It's an old school leadership pillar, empathy. This is a huge reason why I've been developing Backstage OS, so that I can focus on the human moments that need our attention. The blind spots in the production report. Data shows us patterns of behavior, but it can't show us motivation. It tells us what happened during a run-through, not why it happened. Productivity versus humanity. A report might flag a dip in transition speed during Act 2. The data suggests a training issue. The empathy reveals a team grieving a personal loss or burning out from a silent, invisible workload. The spreadsheet doesn't know the difference. Engagement versus boundaries. A tracking log might show an ASM consistently leaving the theater exactly at the out time, which a data-only leader might flag as a lack of commitment. What it misses is that this person is a caregiver or a student who spends their entire commute solving the next day's prop presets. The data sees a boundary, empathy sees a whole life. Feedback versus friction. An analytics tool might show that no one is using the new digital costume plot you spent hours building. The data suggests the tool is a failure. A conversation reveals that the team feels overwhelmed by a constant barrage of new collaboration apps and is clinging to paper out of a need for stability, not defiance. Analytics can A/B test a rehearsal call to see which gets more confirms. What it can't measure is the slow erosion of trust when communication feels like a directive rather than a dialogue. Efficiency is not the same as connection. Purpose is the human filter for data. When you lead with a clear sense of purpose, your why, data stops being a set of instructions and becomes a set of clues. Instead of asking, "What does the report tell us to do?" you start asking, "How does this information help us better serve the production?" A stage management team driven by the purpose of creating a safe space for creative risk will look at a high number of notes very differently than a team just trying to get through tech by 11 p.m. The former sees an opportunity to support the actors, the latter sees a failure to meet a deadline. Sharing the why empowers your team to interpret data on their own. If your crew understands the ultimate goal is to foster a sense of ensemble storytelling, they will make 100 small, intuitive decisions on the deck that align with that goal. Decisions no top-down directive or AI-generated preset list could ever replicate. Empathy as a practical leadership skill. Empathy in stage management isn't about being soft or absorbing everyone's stress. It is a rigorous practice of seeking to understand, curiosity. Listen for what isn't said. It's the work of noticing the tension in the room during a production meeting or the silence of a usually vocal designer. Welcome dissent. When an actor says, "This transition feels wrong," an empathetic leader doesn't just push past it to stay on schedule. They see it as a signal that the plan has a blind spot. That feedback is a gift, not an obstacle. Humanize the goals. Translate organizational goals, like staying under the overtime cap, into human terms. Instead of just announcing a hard stop, explain how protecting their rest allows them to bring their best creative selves to the show the next day. Key takeaways for stage managers. Data versus why. Data tells you the what, but empathy uncovers the why. Relying on one without the other gives you a dangerously incomplete picture of your production. The purpose filter. A clear sense of purpose turns a to-do list into a source of strategic insight. Strategic empathy. Leading with empathy is a practical way to make smarter, more resilient decisions. It's what makes a manager a leader. The AI frontier. As digital tools handle more of our analytical tasks, our greatest value as stage managers becomes our ability to connect, inspire, and navigate the messy, beautiful reality of live performance.